The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
All righty. Well, hello, friends, and buongiorno, paisanos. Hey, I had to throw that in. It is National Lasagna Day. Come on. We're thrilled to see you, and thank you for spending your evening with us. Today's Monday, July 29th, 2024, and this is MGM, also known as Monday General Mentorship, brought to you by Notary Stars every Monday except for holidays, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let me introduce myself in case we haven't met yet. My name is Beth Hathout. I'm the lead instructor for Notary Stars. The rest of the MGM crew is here as well. Our founder, Mr. Ronnie Mickle, Mr. William Bumphreys, also known as, or AKA Mr. Bill, and of course, Miss Kirsten Bly. We're all here to help you excel in your notary journey. Please turn on those cameras. We want to see all of those smiling faces. If you have any questions, guys, don't be shy. Ask away. Use the raise hand feature at the bottom of the screen or post your comments in the chat. And we will try to get those answered. And thank you to everyone who used our Jot form and pre-submitted questions all last week. Since last Monday, we've been collecting those and putting them on our list of questions to ask as well. So thank you in advance for that. Well, Mr. Mickle, Mr. Ronnie, are you ready to get this party started?
Absolutely. So guys, first of all, I want to apologize for being in a backwards baseball cap for this, but if you don't know, I just moved. I just cleared a path to this computer to be able to be here tonight. I promise I'll get things back on track very, very soon. Sorry if there's an echo, but there's, that's how it is when you first move in until you get stuff in the room. I want to start out by introducing Gabriel from Idiomatic. Listen, guys, I'm going to make him a co-host. If you have not signed up for Idiomatic yet, and we're going to keep having Gabriel come back. He's going to come back once a month just to remind you guys where we are with this journey. We are talking about viable resources that we can add into our notary businesses and make it to where we can make additional income. Gabriel, like myself, I own a signing service, is helping run Idiomatic, which is a document translation service. And you guys can add these things to your website. You can add it to your repertoire. You don't have to do the work, but if you use the affiliate link for Idiomatic, you get a commission. So I know Gabriel's been doing really wonderful with sending out emails to those who sign up with Idiomatic to help guide them on how they can, make this a part of their business. And I'm reading them too and making it a part of my business. So Gabriel, I'd love for you to come in and tell us this week what we can do, in 5 minutes or less to kind of grow our document translation extension of our business and drive more business to you.
Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me, Ronnie, as always. And thanks for everyone for the interest. So as Ronnie mentioned, we are a translation company, and we launched our Idiomatic affiliate program where we provide translation services tailored specifically to notaries and apostille agents. So we've discovered, kind of by accident, that translations fit really well into the notary and apostille niche. It can be a service, a standalone service, and also complement to what notaries and apostille agents already provide. Apostilles oftentimes require translation if the documents are going to be submitted abroad in a place they don't speak English. And a lot of times for Social Security, for immigration, for banks, they also require translations to not just be translated, but also notarized. So it fits very well into the business, of what you guys all do. Of course, um, if you have a storefront, which is your web, which is LinkedIn, which is social media, mouth to mouth, translations are a valuable business on their own. If people can find it on your website, they can buy it. And the idea is that you can make money when you're asleep and when you're not actually online. A complementary market, let's say, for translations and also for Apple Steals. Some of you do fingerprinting, background checks, notarizations, of course, are immigration lawyers. That's a big one. Ronnie always mentions this. We always talk about this. Anything that has to do with immigration, great source of business for translations and for legalization services. Um, Both lawyers themselves, they have to get their clients checked out to make sure they are who they are. And of course, the clients, the immigrants, have to get their documents translated if they're coming from a country where they don't speak English. They need to submit them to any sort of government authorities. Really good place to market, not only for notaries, for notary services and apostilles, but for translations as well.
And Gabriel, one of the things that I want to point out to people, because I'm going to be talking about this in just a moment, is that you don't have you're not limited to where you're selling document translation services. So for an apostille agent who is marketing to the entire country, that you can facilitate apostilles in any state, which you actually can. Doesn't mean that you're going to do the notarizations, but you can facilitate apostilles if you're thinking along that nationwide facilitation. This is something that you can add in, and it goes hand in hand with apostilles, but you don't have to be an apostille agent. It's really I go back to my story of when I was getting married, and my ex-husband was from Brazil, and he had to get documents translated to get, his job at the hospital, and translate his degree and translate his birth certificate and all of these things. And, birds of a feather flock together. He came with like an entire school that had to have all of this done. And unfortunately, the first person we used, I didn't know Gabriel at the time, we wound up having to hire like three people to get this right. And that's one of the things that I like about Gabriel, is that they have that unlimited ink Notary Star mentality of, we're going to do this right. Like, if you put the ball in our court, we're going to do this right. So for us as notaries, especially the Notary Star community of you know dedication to excellence, I think that Gabriel's team has that dedication to excellence in their arena. You don't have to speak another language in order to add this in. A lot of people think, oh, I have to speak Spanish, or I have to speak. No, you don't. You actually, most of the people who need documents translated already speak English. They're coming from another country. They speak English. They're moving here. They have to have these things translated. And if they don't, their attorney or whoever's facilitating, letting them know what needs to be done, will have that. And you can partner with law firms that need document translation services and have them come to your website and click on your affiliate link, and you can just make really good money. Gabriel, we are about 11 minutes in. I know that we allotted for about 5 minutes for every month to come in, and I want you to come back and keep reminding us about document translation services. And anytime that you have an event, I'm going to try to be on those calls as well, because I'm learning a lot from you as well. I know how to get the website up and running, but I'm still learning about document translation services. So I'm so glad that our paths have crossed, and that you've been able to connect with our community the way that you have. And I hope you'll keep coming back and just checking in with us, making sure that we remember, and bringing us that reminder that this is just sitting there waiting for us. And the last thing I'm going to say about Gabriel is, after we started this, he could not wait to write checks. Like I was like, okay, like in the notary community, we have like 30, 90-day payout. He was like, no, I want to write these checks right now. So that's a plus. He wants to write your check like as soon as well, not as soon as it happens, but very close after. So it's a great partnership to have because, like when I do Amazon, I'm waiting 30 days, 40 days, 60 days for whatever I do. Or if I do YouTube, Gabriel was like, I want to get these. I want to give incentives. So he's your great affiliate right now.
I
Thank you so
appreciate it,
much.
Ryan. Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
if anybody has any questions, and we are at the moment still a small community of affiliates. So if you have a question, you get in touch with me directly, and I'm happy to help and clarify anything.
Thank you so
So,
much.
so
Oh,
that doesn't cost the notary anything to do this. This isn't something you buy up front and get paid later. Is that right?
Sure. No, the client actually, if a translation is needed, the client who needs the translation will pay upfront. So the money is already in hand. So there's no out-of-pocket cost for the translation itself. You, as a notary or apostille agent, the only thing you would have to worry about is charging your client for the legalization service, nothing else.
Perfect. I just wanted to kind of make that clear. We've got 102 people on the call. And so often when we're presented with another stream of revenue as notaries, it comes at a cost. This is no cost. This is a service that you're providing. It's just an affiliate link out to your website, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And
Awesome.
I saw someone ask for my contact info, so I'm putting in my personal email address and I'm putting our affiliates website up. So anybody who has a question can get in touch there.
Perfect. Thank
thank you.
you.
I've been posting
Absolutely.
for the last few minutes as well. We did a starter session with you. I've been posting that link to the very first video that you did that's like an hour long, going over how we can work together. So I've been posting that in the chat as well. So everybody can watch that video if you are wanting to know where this came from. If it's your first time here with us tonight, go back and watch that video that we posted into the chat tonight so that you can learn more about idiomatic as well.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Have
Now,
a good
guys,
afternoon, good evening.
you too. Guys, we want you to go ahead and get your hand raised because we already have your drop form questions. But if you have a question that you brought tonight or something that you want to share, please go ahead and raise those questions. And that includes, if I can't see who else here because I'm trying to multitask with links and the meeting notes. That includes my peeps from My Notary Academy. If you are here tonight, get those hands raised because we want to hear from you about your event. If you guys haven't heard about this, there's going to be an event. It's going to be a party. It's a retreat, but it's going to be awesome. So if you're here tonight, please go ahead and raise your hands as well. I'm going to make two announcements really quick, and then we're going to go to the start alternating between raised hands and the jar form questions. There are two things that I want to personally say. So last weekend, I decided that I'm tired of waiting for everyone to join my marketing class and get their pages for jail or hospital services. I launched two websites, and I'm going to put the article in the chat if you haven't read it. Please make sure you visit the chat and you read this. Every single web page my team has built within 24 hours is on the first page of Google. Miss Beth usually says, "Holy cow," I got a holy shit out of her. And I started showing her. And that's really hard to do because um, she's a tough woman. She got a tame mouth though. And so when you can push that button, I got that out of her. So it's got to be good. Every single person who has signed up for a jail page or a hospital page is coming up number one for the hospital name and the word notary, or the city name and the word notary. So we started emergencynotaryservices.com and jailnotaryservices.com. It's $25 a year for a listing. If you get one, it will pay for itself. It does automatically renew. that's the first announcement that I want to say to the first 50 to almost 75 that have gotten your listings. I've blown some notaries' minds already. And the second thing that I want to announce is I am doing a seminar every 6 months. I do a SEO seminar that teaches you how to do search engine optimization. But I actually want to apologize to the entire notary community. I underestimated how many people don't even actually have a website or just paid someone for 3 pages and don't even know how to go a step further. So I am going to do my seminar this year differently for the last half. I'm actually combining my SEO seminar with a step-by-step on how to build a website properly. By the time I'm done with you, it will be 3 days. It's 2 hours a day. By the time I'm done with you, you will know how to build your own website, navigate that website. It will be recorded if you miss a day or if you need to go back and refer to it. But you will also know what search engine optimization is. 6 hours of your time to change your future. It is $149 to attend, and this extends to even previous seminar users or our seminar attendees and to my marketing class. This is sold separately. And by the way, I sold my last build for a notary website. I've built over 200 websites for notaries. I am no longer in the business of building websites for notaries. Beth, you got me on camera saying that. You can come back and clip this because every time I say I'm not going to build anymore, I'm not going to build anymore, Beth goes, "Why are you building another one?" I do teach a class where you can learn it yourself. I'm going to do it in this seminar over 3 days. I'll post that into the chat tonight as well. And Kirsten, if you can help me facilitate getting that back out into the chat. You have 2 things to look at. And look, I'm not trying to upsell. I'm trying to actually, and by the way, for what I'm charging for these first page jail and hospital pages that are coming up, number one, within 24 hours, I do have a disclaimer. It could take 3 to 4 weeks because that's Google. But we've been very lucky so far. For what I'm charging for those, other people would be charging thousands of dollars. I mean, not thousands, hundreds of dollars. I'm trying to keep it as affordable as possible, so I'm going to put a timestamp on it till August the 15th. The prices are going to double. So that's 15 days to make your choice. I had some that bought them, and then the next day they come back and bought 5. For the class, it is until August 5th. You can get it at $149, else it's going to be $199. It will be a smaller class, I know, because I've already taught this to so many people. And that's okay for me because I want an intimate class. But I'm not trying to upsell you things. I'm trying to change your life. If you learn what I learned in 6 hours, you'll be you can compete with people like me who are very aggressive. So with that said, Miss Beth, let's start going to questions for the night. I want to make sure we have time for everybody's questions.
We can take Cookie's question first, but before we do that, one quick announcement, because I don't want it to get lost in a time crunch. Anybody who is a notary in North Carolina or supports the North Carolina Notary Association, they're having their annual 22nd annual, by the way, conference, August 23rd, or excuse me, August 2nd through 3rd, not 23rd. I read that all together. And you cannot attend live anymore. You can't buy a ticket and show up. It's only streaming now for the registration. So I'm going to put that in the chat. And if anybody wants to attend that virtually, it's a nominal fee. I think it's like $20. So support your local notary associations, guys.
Absolutely, Miss Beth. We actually did sponsor that event for anybody that's a current member. They sent out a big email. We're not going to it, but we did sponsor as if we were going to be there. So we really believe in this. And then before we go into this, Kimberly Sennett, get your hand raised. Okay, and then I see you're here, so get your hand raised to talk about your stuff. Miss Cookie, I think we're going to Miss Cookie, right?
We are. Go ahead and unmute Cookie and ask your question.
Hi, guys. This is really just a share that I wanted to share because I knew there'd be a lot of people here and maybe there might be new notaries, but I had an experience this week. I had a signing company. I took a job and the signing company called me to verify that I would have a witness. No, I verified with the signing company, do I need to bring a witness? And they said, no, title will sign. So I get to the building, which was not a title office. It was a building in a room that they had rented. And there was no witness. So I said to the signer, do you have a witness? Like the signing company told me there was going to be a witness here. So we called title and he had title on speaker. And title, he says to title, hey, we don't have a witness. And title says, oh no, just have the notary witness her part, the warranty deed. Have the notary witness her part, and then when I get it back, I'll witness the other. So I'll witness the other. And I was kind of in shock, and I said, excuse me? She goes, I said, this is Ellen, the notary. Did you say I'm going to send it back without another witness here? And she said, yeah, I'll witness it when I get it back. And I said, absolutely not. I said, I cannot do that.
I feel like we should go to gallery view and watch all the notaries who are gasping right now and like going, no, 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 no.
No, and really, this is for new notaries, and I'm going to tell you why. I said, absolutely not. I cannot do that. I stayed very professional. I said, I cannot do that. The witness is here to witness the signer signing, and I can't notarize without that. And she said, well, I don't understand. We do it all the time. I said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm not doing that. But I'll tell you what. And, you know, we're here to save the day. So I said, we're in a building where people are coming in and out. I will make sure we grab a witness. We'll grab somebody, you know.
Exactly.
So we grabbed somebody. The guy was kind enough to come in and witness. And the client, the customer, the seller, like paid this guy $20. And I thought maybe I should have paid and got that from the signing company, but I wasn't guaranteed to get that money back. So I let it go. And I called the signing company. And this is very interesting because the first thing the signing company said to me was, well, did you confirm there was going to be a witness? I said, actually, I confirmed with you when you called me and you told me there would be a witness. Oh, you know, then the tune changes. And I tell him what happened. And he says, well, I have no control over the title companies. That's what he said. And I said, I understand that. I understand that. But if there's a notary out there that doesn't want to lose the job because they need the money to feed their family and they send it in, the title company is causing the notary to
Compromise.
break the law because they need that $75 to pay their family, or maybe yet they don't know better. You know, and I said to the side, I said, that is not cool. You know, in the end, you know, we worked it out, but it was the most amazing thing that I was like hit with. I couldn't even believe it. I started questioning myself. You know, I'm only a year and a half into this and really only probably 7 months really moving forward. So I have a lot to learn, but just be careful out there, new notaries, you know, like.
Yeah, you've been in my class long enough. I could have sworn that you wouldn't have fallen for that. And you didn't.
No.
You didn't.
No.
You know, sometimes, here's what I'm going to say. It happens in signing services too. You would think that it wouldn't because signing service owners are notaries as well. But title people are also notaries. I call them accidental notaries, right? They don't know regulations like you know regulations because you're a career notary. That's what you do. You, and, you know, bank notaries, title and escrow notaries, notaries who happen to be, have their commission because their boss at work wants them to have a commission. That's an accidental notary, and they put themselves in compromising positions, and the notaries that they're hiring. It's up to you to know your state regulations. And Cookie, I can only just applaud you and give you kudos for a job well done.
Would you guys suggest to reach out to the title company or just let it go? Because I almost feel like I have a duty to protect other notaries, even the realtor, because then he got the realtor on the phone and the realtor was like, well, I'm too far away. And we do this all the time. What's the big deal? So I almost feel like I have a duty to like call the title company and be like,
I gotta cut you off at that point, Miss Cookie, because
okay.
first of all, you did your job, okay?
Okay.
You didn't let it happen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you call a title company and it's been a signing service, you are overstepping your boundaries.
Okay.
I just recently had a notary who did not overstep her boundaries, who brought us something, which I posted in Facebook, about how a signing service asked her to notarize, not only notarize a document, but sign a power of attorney granting the title company irrevocable power of attorney to correct her notary blocks if anything was, which is, first of all, dumb. You can't do.
Yeah.
And so you want to go through your chain of command, and you educated them, and you got to keep your cool about it. But I have to say this, you know, how long have you been a Notary Star?
Not long.
Not long.
Not long.
And when you first came, you were kind of timid.
Yeah.
You were kind of timid, and I know you've gone to a lot of classes. This conversation with you tonight, Miss Cookie, and everybody sees her name as Alon Daniels on there. We call her Cookie because she let us know right up at the front, and she's been very vocal about who she is and where she was. I want to tell you that I'm so effing proud of you, and I wouldn't even try to use frickin'. I'm effing proud of you, but I can't say that word. I'm so proud of where you are right now. I'm so proud that you could recognize this, that you won't be browbeat, as Travis calls it, browbeat into doing something that's illegal. And Beth, I think that's just something that we should add to our sheet. Beth and I are actually starting a list of all the things that we try to get browbeat into doing. But I wanted to cut you off because we never skip our chain of command. It's the SPW code of conduct that we agree to when we go to the National Notary Association. And we get that NNA certified exam, we sign something that says we will not skip our chain of command. So,
and I understand that. I probably would have never done it. And that's why I asked you guys, because, you know, it hurts my heart that they would like do that to us. And like Beth said, maybe the title people don't know, some of them, they're not all notaries, which is understandable. And hopefully by just telling her that day, that's against the law, but I just can't imagine any other notary doing that and them not telling her. So it's just weird, but I just wanted to share. Thank you so much, guys. I will tell you, I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. And when I talk to people, when I'm at signings, and, you know, sometimes they're always like, I want to be a notary. I always tell them, you have to go through Notary Stars before you even go get your license to be a notary.
okay, first of all, everybody out in the world needs to stop telling people. I appreciate that you can go through Notary Stars, but tell them it's so hard. You're creating competition for all of us. We got enough of us out there. If we could just corral what we have, tell them it's so hard that like you may not make it. Only like it's like being a mailman in the 80s when they actually had a memory test.
Stop. No, don't do that. Hey, Matt Miller is in the audience today. He said what Cookie was asked to do is another reason why deed fraud is exploding. The doc witness requirement was specifically put in place to stop that. And here we have escrow title, who's on the hook for this thing, sidestepping those regulations. Unbelievable.
Just when you think Notary Stars has no drama to talk about, we get into it. I love it.
All righty. How about VJ? VJ, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I just wanted to let you know, first of all, I got an assignment a couple of weeks back. I mean, maybe last week. They hired me because I'm from Notary Star. But that was kudos to
VJ, do you have your microphone on?
Yeah, it is on.
We can just barely hear you. Sounds like you're in
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There you go. The
There you go.
boom. You need
My
the
headphone is up.
boom.
So I got a assignment, I think last week, end of last week. It was an emergency thing, and somebody called me over. I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And then they found me because I'm in Notary Stars, and I thought that was really nice of him. And Ronnie, you built his website and helped him up being opening his signing services. So he was and also he was impressed with my work. So I told him, yeah, I'm also a Notary Star member, and I work with them, and I love it.
Was he out of New York by any chance?
Yes, he is. Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
He's here
Yes,
tonight, actually.
he's somewhere here, but I'm not sure if he's here or not. I don't want to tell his name. So
yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
A second thing is, I always have this problem, and I go to signing to it's not a residential signing. We meet at a restaurant or someplace. You know how the restaurants have this really dark lighting? You can't even see what we're doing. Is there a portable light that you guys can suggest that I can take with me? Because
Miss Beth, can I please go at this one first, and then you come back with anything? Before we get into portable lights, Miss VJ, I learned something very cool in the last year of my life. So we have a credit card processor. We get approached by credit card processors all the time at Unlimited Ink and Notary Stars. Can we change you? We can save you so much money. And this is my only moment that Travis will let the chain off my leg to get out, because they won't come to your home office. They'll only go to like a building or a nearby restaurant. They won't come to your home to do it. Apparently, you can't do it. So it's the only time I can get out of the office. So I said, let's go to Starbucks, because who doesn't love Starbucks? And I want one of those smoothies like everybody else gets to drink all day long. I never get to get one. And they called me back and said, listen, there's a McDonald's next door to that. And I said, okay, but I really wanted Starbucks. And they said, but listen, let us explain. You're going to have your laptop out. We're going to have our laptop out. There's going to be papers on the table. There's going to be in and out. Starbucks is a very busy restaurant. McDonald's generally has no one inside of it. So when you have a meeting at a dark lit restaurant or whatever, just explain to people, we're going to be going over paperwork with 12 font. And if we can change the location to the closest McDonald's or the closest Wendy's that are open, and hopefully you're not signing after 10 p.m. because they usually close at like 9:30, 10. Make sure you know what time they close and say, could we just move it one block over? Or find the local fast food restaurant, because they have a big table. You can put all the paperwork out on it. Generally, fast food restaurants are not that busy anymore. And if you know this one and it's busy, maybe don't suggest that one. But most fast food restaurants are just drive-through and DoorDash now. So most of them don't have like the 80s, 90s traffic that we used to see. You can go inside and sign at the tables and suggest that and say, and then you can go to that restaurant. But if they absolutely insist, for sure, you have to accommodate them. And then Miss Beth can talk to you about lighting in a restaurant. But most restaurants are not going to want you to put an overhead light on your table that shines to other tables. Miss Beth?
Well, if you can't use the light on your phone, right? The flash
That's what we did.
on the back of your phone. You can also, if you have a social media light that you attach to your phone or to something else, this is the one that I use, and it sits on top of my monitor at my desk, but it also becomes flexible and a nice foot for anything. And when you turn this on, now you can see everything, and it's low to the table. That's what I use.
Okay, thank you.
Mike
get
has
caught
one
in
of
a
those.
bind.
Mike has one of those on the refrigerator that is a magnifying. It's a magnet that
Mm.
bends over. So I love that you have one of those, Beth, because Mike has one on the refrigerator in case the power goes out. He can still see what's going on.
Ah, cool. Awesome. Miss Susan's arm's getting tired, Mr. Mickle. We want to go answer Susan's question. Go ahead and unmute, Sue.
Okay, hi everybody. I try to go on to the landing page registration for hospital, and every time it brings me to the jail registration.
Uh-oh. Ronnie?
Oh, sorry. Are you looking at the article?
Yeah. Well, actually, I've tried it from there was another place I tried it from too. I don't remember, but I'm trying it from the yellow one. It says get your jail landing pages today by clicking
So
here.
you're looking at the
hospital.
email. There was a problem with the email where the links were too close together. I posted in the chat earlier tonight, and they're definitely there. But if you actually just go to the website that's listed there, I just posted it in the chat, the article. There are two different websites, but they were too close together in that initial email, and one ate the other. So if you go to the link in the chat, you'll be able to get to each one there as well. And you can just actually go to the websites as well, which is jailnotaryservices.com and emergencynotaryservices.com.
Okay. All right. So when I go to emergency notary services, it brings up, well, let me see, it's not a registration page. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place.
It should say emergency notary services, and then up at the top, it should say notaries create your landing page here.
Okay, get your hospital landing pages today, but okay, let me see. Emergencynotaryservices.com. Okay. And right there in bright yellow. I see it. Okay, thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you. And
Hey guys, there's a couple of links in the chat too for different lights that notaries use. So check those out. That might be a better option for you for lighting dark areas.
And I love that link came from Will Ussery, because I haven't seen him in forever, or at least he hasn't chatted in forever that I saw. So I'm glad that he's here tonight, because he's been around for a long time. So
hey, well,
stop by, stop by, stop by. This is like homecoming for tonight. Miss Beth, I want to go to the next hand raise, and then I think we should start alternating with some of the jot form questions, because we don't want to get too far behind on those. But guys, I want to introduce this next person. This is Kimberly Sennett. This is from Notary Academy, and the website is My Notary Academy. That's My Notary Academy, like mine. I've actually updated for the first time in 6 years the training that we are allowing you guys to have on the Unlimited Ink website. Now, we've always been Notary Pro or Notary Stars. We are now, you can get it from Notary Academy, which is My Notary Academy, Notary to Pro and Notary Stars, and have a combination of two of those, so that you can get more signings from us. So Miss Kimberly is doing an event, and I want you to come on and tell us about that event so that we can make sure we all know about it. And then I'm going to look up the link to post it, unless you have the link to post it.
Thank you, Ronnie. I actually did put our website, the link up for our website. If you go to our website, up in the top right-hand corner, there is a link for our upcoming event, which is our second annual Notary Academy retreat.
Now, where is that? Where is it? Where is it?
It's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona this year.
And
so,
who's going to be there?
Notary Stars.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
well, it's just insane. So if you're coming from any of the states, you don't have to just come from Arizona, right? You can come from California, Arizona, New Mexico. We can all drive there. So
this is for anybody, for any state. You're welcome to come. I have to say that I'm very excited to be here and to align ourselves with Notary Stars. I truly believe that Ronnie and Beth have the same vision that Laura and myself have with Notary Academy. It is to give notaries their foundation and to give them quality education. At Notary Academy, our goal is to teach state-specific quality education. You might think that you get that from other entities. However, we are the only entity within the notary families that provides state-specific. We have an advisor for each state that is an expert in their state and delves into notary law and foundation. That being said, as I said, Ronnie and I have done a lot of talking, and we both agree that it is really, really important that notaries get their education from as many sources as possible, but as long as it's quality education. And that is why we have kind of teamed up here, and we really want to push to you guys that it's important to get your education from Notary Academy, from Notary Stars, and Notary to Pro. There are some other programs out there that are fantastic and we support them. However, those we would choose to be our top 3 quality education for notaries. This is not just for loan signing, this is for everything notary, most importantly, knowing your notary laws and foundations and skills. So we do have an event coming up October 5th and 6th in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we're super excited that Notary Stars has chosen to come to the event and be a part of it. We do have National Notary Association providing swag for the event and some really cool items that they've chosen to donate. We also have Notary Assist that is going to be providing some swag as well. And we have Tyler Temple from Closewise that is going to be presenting his new signing platform. One thing that is very exciting about our event is we actually have about 10 different signing service owners, including Ronnie himself, that will be in attendance. These are great events to come to because it puts your face in front of these individuals. It makes it very easy for me to assess if I want you to work for my company, if I'm able to have a conversation with you, and if I'm able to have one live in person and I can see your face and we can chat about your skills and everything else, I remember you. I not only co-own Notary Academy with Lara Tasadri, but we both own National Signing Services as well. I own Seal the Deal National Signing Service, and Lara owns Notary Zoom Signing Service. So it's really important to have those kind of meetups and events where you can make yourself known so that you can get additional work. We are going to have a full day of training. It is going to be from 8 to 5. We have some amazing speakers lined up. We are going to have a lesson all about Canva and how to market yourself using Canva. We are going to have a lesson about how to market yourself and find your niche in the area that you live in. Because sometimes people don't understand when they're marketing and they're just burning their wheels because they're not doing it correctly. We're going to have somebody there that will teach you how to find the niche in your area, what the most important business where you live. We will also be talking about deliberate practice, notary advocacy, as well as speaking to signing services and all of the Notary Academy advisors. We will be providing lunch that day, and then we will be having networking from 6 to 10, and we will be providing dinner as well. The fun doesn't end there. On Sunday, we invite you all to come to Salt River at the boardwalk. There is an aquarium there. There is restaurants and shops, and we look forward to having a true retreat and having a fun day with everybody. If you can't make Sunday, that's okay, but Saturday will be an event and a day that you guys would really get a lot out of, and it doesn't matter what skill level. Brand new notary all the way to the most experienced notary. Oh, and I did forget one thing also that we're going to be teaching. We're going to be teaching all about insurance, taxes, how to structure your business, how to expense things for your business, etc. And like I said, we have some really great experts that are coming in to speak to you guys about all of that. So please, tickets do go, they increase after August 18th. Right now they are $349. And we do have a room block. If you do need to stay, the rooms are $165, but all of that is going up. Room block until the rooms are out, and then the tickets go up on August 18th to $399 and August 25th to $499. So you want to get them now.
And I just moved into a 3-bedroom in the Phoenix Greater area, which is right next to Scottsdale. So I can sleep at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 of you in my office. Just kidding. Don't quote me on that. I just wanted to be funny. Miss Kimberly, thank you so much for coming by and giving us a thorough rundown. I look forward to seeing you there. I'm going to be there. Miss Beth, we already know can't be there, but another member of Notary Stars will be there with us. So we look forward to being there, and I'm going to let that event, just so you know, be all about my Notary Academy. I'm just going to show up. I just want to be a part of the day with everybody. I'm not trying to overshadow, but I do hope our community in neighboring states and in Arizona will come out and support you, because and here's the thing, guys. I want to say this. We have Notary Pro coming back to do a rollout. We've now partnered with My Notary Academy. We're trying to create a coalition of meaningful notary training out there. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a great day to meet everybody in person and see things. So I hope you guys will go out and sign up. One of the things I want to mention before we go to more questions, guys, and we might go 10 minutes over tonight because I want to try to get as many questions in as possible. I am posting into the chat. I made a video. It's in the newsletter every week. We are about to update our Notary Stars profiles, which are going to be insane. Like, we're that close, where it shows all of your Google, Yelp, signing order, everything reviews all in one place. You can add a video in, and that button that I just posted into the chat, and I think somebody's already done, so I'm going to post it again. And Kirsten, if you can help me out to make sure that's there. That button that says learn more about me at Notary Stars is in your profile already for you to link it to ZigSig, signing order, SnapDocs, any platform out there that gives you a bio. That we're no longer providing the list of signing services. We've reached the maximum amount that we can send them out to. Now the job is up to you to put that button in your profile, because it's going to make a difference in how you get hired. So if you've been watching that for the last, 7 months, the new profiles are going live in the next 15 days. And you're going to see a whole shift. You can add video to your profile. You can add your accounting software into it and show how many orders you've done all together. So it's an extension of your profile. We want to see that flag flying in every single profile out there. And if you don't add it in, you will be left behind, because it's the next step in evolution of Notary Stars. I'll be doing a follow-up event once we go live with those new profiles. Welcome to the new Notary Stars. But you're going to want to be there, because the new ones, for those of you that have seen it, I'm sorry, it's badass. It's just, there's no other way to say it. For notaries, it's badass. All right, Miss Beth, thank you, Miss Kimberly. We got 2 hands raised, and I want to get some questions off the jot form. So can we do at least some questions off the jot form next, just to make sure we're not suffering from those?
Sure. You do a question? You want to do this little piece of information here?
I'm just switching over to the sheet. What little piece of information? You can do that. Oh, I see you. Yes, let's please get that in tonight. And I would love for you to facilitate it. Do you want me to ask the question?
Well, it was something that was brought up in the signing service today, where a notary was asked to swear in a witness or deponent on a court case. And she wanted to know if she could do it over Ron. Was it Colorado? Am I dreaming?
Virginia.
Virginia. You're right. I was dreaming. It was Virginia, but it doesn't make a whole lot of difference what state it is, because I'm going to tell you right up front that this type of thing is state specific. To know whether you can remotely swear someone into a hearing, a deposition, or some type of court proceeding is going to be dependent upon your state, what your state says, and or what the court says. Family court might be different from criminal court, but I am going to tell you that you need to think about this before you jump in. Okay, most of our handbooks have language that reads something similar to: the notary must be physically present in the same room with the deponent or the document signer during the performance of the notarial act. And the notarial act in this case is a verbal oath, right? Swearing them into this deposition. So think about it in terms this way. If the court would allow a remote swearing in of this witness or this deponent, they could have done it themselves. She or he is either on the phone giving their statement, they're on two-way video communication giving their statement, that court clerk is there, that judge is there, present either visually and audibly or on the phone. They would swear them in themselves. When they are asking a notary to swear in a person, they usually are expecting us to be in the same room with them. So that's what I want you to just keep in the back of your mind when you get orders like these. Okay.
Thank you, Steph. I want to get a Ron question in tonight because I want more Ron questions, and you guys have no idea the storm that's brewing on Ron right now with Notary Stars. I will give you a hint. We are in negotiations of a partnership of a Ron platform that includes your membership.
Maybe.
No, I got the contract today. It actually came in like 30 minutes ago when we were starting. So I'm all smiles right now. The next question is from Mr. Bill. Let's see if Mr. Bill is here. Mr. Bill, we have a question and I want to get your take on it. It says, what are some of the effective platforms for RONs that you can purchase? What lenders out there provide free RON platforms for signings?
Right. So there's the word purchase is not the right word to use there, really, just so that you know, you're actually just kind of renting the space when you're on the platform. So all of the platforms that are available, or most of them, have a monthly fee that you pay. They vary depending on the platform that you're using. So there are free ones out there. However, you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, because they might be a monthly amount. That part might be free, but then you have an amount that's per signing or per transaction that you do. Sometimes it's per stamp that you do. There's one that's very popular that we've all heard of that is nothing to do to be on the site, but it's $10 for the first stamp, $3 for the next stamp, $3 for the next stamp, $3 for the next stamp. So you can see that if you were doing a loan signing package that had a lot of stamps, you could be paying quite a bit. There's other sites that just have a flat rate. So what I would do is I would check on the Online Notaries Public. There's a chat board, as well as on Notary Stars, where people kind of can give their impressions of what the different platforms are, what the expenses are. You're certainly welcome to come to class anytime, and I can give you my impression of the ones I've worked with, and I've got quite a few of them that I've worked on, so I have an idea. Usually, if they're going to be free, like if it's ones that are the escrow companies are providing for you, the problem with that is you can't bring your own business to those typically. So, if you work for Notary Cam, as an example, Notary Cam, you don't pay to be on the platform, but now they have an option where you can bring your own stuff to it. Nexus ClearSign, which is owned by Amrock. That's another one where there's no cost to be on it, but you can't bring any of your work to it. So what you have to kind of do is assess what your business plan is. If you're just going to work for signing services, then go with signing services that don't have a cost on the platform. If you there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot to unpack in that short amount of question. So I would check on the websites, see what other people are saying about their experiences with it, what their costs are, who they've worked for, because who I can work for here in Nevada might be completely different than who you can work for in Texas or something like that. So that's the other thing that you need to take into consideration. Is your state even allowing you to use that platform? So I'd strongly encourage you to come to class on Friday and we can unpack your specific situation and what you want to do and go from there.
And guys, I just want to say this: Mr. Bill teaches an amazing Ron class. He goes over everything from how to get set up on Ron to how to market Ron. Of course, for the dynamic websites, you got to come to my marketing class. But just at the Notary Star level, or if you're on Online Notaries Public, either one, you get access to his class. So all membership levels, except for the listing only at Notary Stars, have access to Ron. Mr. Bill's class. Online Notaries Public, if you're not a Notary Star member and you want a listing on Online Notaries Public, you have access to his class. We're giving you access to this guy, and he's brilliant. He's actually the first Ron notary that I know that made it. How long has it been, Bill, since you left your desk?
I've been fully remote online for 5 years. So I haven't. The last time I met somebody across a table and actually signed a document with them was in April of 2020. And that was the last time I wore one of those masks. I wasn't going to do it again. And I've never gone back to meeting somebody in person. I work in this office all the time.
Yeah, guys, I have to tell you, Bill he was one of our white glove notaries out in the field over in Las Vegas. And we kind of lost touch because he went off and did his own dang thing, which I'm glad he did. And I'm proud of him, but we were able to get him, once a week plus general mentorship, but once a week to teach a class on Ron and keep us abreast on what he's doing. So take advantage of him because he may not be here. We may not get another Mr. Bill. I mean, he might just be like, you know what? I landed a major contract and screw you. I don't want to work with you anymore. I'm going to be rich. So we got to squeeze blood out of a turnip while we got it, because he is the first successful Ron notary that I knew of. Now, there have been more since. A lot of them took his class. But I just want to make sure you know, if you're interested in that arena, he's already created the journey for you and paved the road for you. Thank you, Mr. Bill.
We are right at 6 p.m., Mr. Ronnie. Shall we finish up with the hands that are raised?
We are. There's one from the jot form, so let's get the two hands that are raised, because I definitely want Kim Nelson to ask her a question, because she's awesome. Jamil, I'm going to put your hand down. We kind of got in after the mark, so let's get Luz and Kim Nelson, and then there's one from the jot form that I want to get after all that, and then we'll close it out.
Okay, good. Luz, go ahead. You want to unmute and ask your question?
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I know, Ronnie, you wanted more Ron questions. So I had a situation with the Ron from that I did last week, and it was assigned by a signing agency that it was assigned to me. I took it, and it was a foreign signer. And the foreign signer, they were in the UK. We did it with like UK passports, biometrics, with like face recognition and all that. The signing company that gave me the job never told me that this was a Westcore document, title company, that it had to be a Westcor approved notary, and all these things. And Westcor wanted a creditable witness, and it's just crazy. The witness that did the signing was provided by the title company. It was actually somebody that worked in the title company. So when our signing agencies are supposed to be telling you that this is, a specialty like title, like Westcor, they're very strict. There has to be $1 million errors and omission, which thankfully I have. And all of these different requirements that they want. They want a credible witness with a RON, and they have to be KBAs plus the biometrics, but KBAs have to be in there. What should be like the ethical thing to do, and let us know?
So, I'm going to answer this one because Bill might just start cursing again. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't like to work with title companies. He's actually a very successful Ron notary, not working with title companies. He doesn't like to work with them because of what you're saying right now.
Yeah, I wasn't directly working with the title company.
No, signing
It
services
was
as well.
contracted. Yeah, it was signing service.
We're very careful when we beg Mr. Bill to do a title signing for us because he's got it down. He knows what he's doing. You're going to have to learn some of that from trial and error. And we do a really good job with Unlimited Ink of guiding them before they get to the notary. When you're working direct or when you're working with other signing services, most of them don't know what they're doing. They don't know that there's like all these restrictions and all those things. And maybe Mr. Bill and I can come up with a kind of like a question and answer sheet that, like, if you're getting a signing, that you ask these questions immediately back. But yes, the signing service should know. Like all of my clients, every single one of them at Unlimited Ink, we have the option for them to input the platform that they prefer or where the state that they're located if they're doing a RON. And then, sometimes there's a little hiccups because we're still getting through it, which is why I created onlinenotaries.public.com so we could get all of that information before anything happens. So we don't have any problems at Unlimited Ink Notary, and I encourage other signing service owners to go through and hire those notaries and the title companies out there to hire them. We don't have as many hiccups, but right now it's a cluster F, if you know what that means, on getting a notary hired, and the signing service is probably just not skilled in working with Ron notaries at the moment. And you, instead of getting frustrated with them, count it as a learning experience and say, you know what? There's a really great website called onlinenotaries.public.com. They can really help guide you with navigating this, and we will help them.
Yeah.
We'll share that knowledge with them. They probably just don't know how to navigate it.
It was very frustrating. It's like basically I was getting yelled at by this like BP of like underwriting, whatever, calling and yelling at me and like asking me for my errors and omission like policy, and questioning about like how do I know that the signer, like they were doubting the identity. And it's like, listen, we're not 100%. There's never going to be 100%. We go by the documents. We go by asking questions, asking where they at, which I did. I tried to engage them into a few questions. So I kind of like got an idea whether they're actually who they're saying, or at least know the transaction. So, I always do that with the wrong signings, but it was I was taken aback by like how, I'm not Westcor approved, and normally I don't take Westcor signings because of that, because I'm not approved with them. So it was frustrating. But one more thing real quick, and I don't know if something I learned this week, and I don't know if everybody knows that uses a Snap Docs too, like for the signing. I didn't know you can download the document. It's split into two files, so you have legal and letters in separate files to make it easier to like sign. I wish I would have found that somewhere to make my life easier. And I just found this week, and I said I had to share. And last but not least, I have to give thanks to Ronnie in front of everybody here for helping me out get my approval from the state for the Blue Notary platform. I was struggling really bad a few weeks ago. I brought it up here, and Ronnie personally took it up to himself to go and ask the questions and get those like an email with answers, which helped me realize what I was doing wrong, get it corrected, and finally get approved. So thank you so much. That really means a lot. That you actually went out your way and personally helped me with that. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, I wrote you back in an email and I said that was not just me. I gave you the names of the people and I CC'd them on it.
Yeah.
I just got it to the right people. I never take credit where credit's not due, but thank you for saying that. I did escalate it to the right people on the wrong platforms, which we have a lot of wrong platforms that have presented to Notary Stars, which means we have a lot of back end, higher level people, and we were able to get it done faster. But it was not me that got you your answer; it was them. I just had that connection.
Yeah. You're the glue that is keeping us all together. So.
Not me. Not I don't want to. We've gotten a lot of compliments tonight. I'm starting to get scared. It's not me. It's a team effort. You guys bring questions. We have facilitations. We have Beth. We have Glory. We have Travis. We have all these things. It's not me. Don't name me. It's Notary Stars community.
Well, thank you all. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, Miss Beth. There's Miss Kim Nelson, and then there's one question that I highlighted from Saskia that I really want to answer tonight before we go. Kim Nelson, just before you unmute there, I just want to show you. I have your journal, and I want to kind of bring this up. And I don't want to put you on the spot. And you got my personal cell phone number. You can call and cuss me out after this. But Kim Nelson sent me this journal that she created for her notary. And I've used Kim Nelson a lot in person. And in fact, during COVID, she was on the road. And I want to talk about how important notary journals are. She created her own notary journal, which if you create your own, it means you're going to use it, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't just create a notary journal and not use it. So Kim sent me one for review 6 months ago because this actually kind of saved her career. She has a notary journal, and there was an incident that happened. We won't go into that tonight. But if it wasn't for the notary journal, it's better than a lot of the ones you can get out there. I haven't been able to send over Miss Beth yet. But just to prove to you, it's with my notary journals, which are sitting right there right now. I keep them under eyesight and lock and key at all times, the ones that I haven't turned in. It's with them because I have a lot of respect for what you did here. And I know that this kind of cleared your name for some things, and I'm looking forward to bringing you on to talk about this journal as well. But I just want to say that Kim Nelson is the epitome of someone who is doing what she's supposed to do. And whenever it's something questioned, so if somebody ever asks me if I question Kim Nelson, I'll be like, no, she invented a notary journal that was better than the one that was available. So, no. So, with that said, let's hear your question or what you want to talk about tonight.
So I actually ran into a situation, and I've been doing notary for a while. And so the original question I came on for was I ran into a situation, I believe it was an attorney state, and I don't remember which one it was. I think Virginia or something like that, or North Carolina. So when the signer signs, they signed in a trust, right? So it was individually and by the trustee and individually. And so in my certificate, I had, because it was just a generic state of, county of, signed by, you sign it, stamp it, you're good. There's no expiration, no nothing. So I always put all my extra stuff in there that's supposed to be there by Washington law. So they had this great big space. So I put in there, signed by John Doe and Jane Doe, trustees, and then as the trust. And I wrote the whole trust out, dated this date. Okay. So what happened was I've always done that. So like if there's not space, I create space and I make that in the language in the certificate. So when it got back to title, they went to go record, and we went back and forth about this for about 20 minutes. And they wanted my certificate just to be just their name. And I'm like, well, I've always done it like that. Why would I just put just their name because they're signing in a trust? It doesn't make any sense. So they said, well, we literally cannot record per our law. And I was like, well, per our law, we have to do it this way. And this is the way it's supposed to be done. So I usually don't have questions about that. But what is your take on that, Ronnie?
And then I'm going to turn it over to Miss Beth because she's the expert. So when you see that word individually and as trustee, they can only sign their name and you can only notarize their name. That's my take on it. So when you see individually and as trustee, you have to think if you add the trust language, you're taking away the individual part. So they're signing their name to say individually and as trustee. You can only notarize that. And in different states, sure, are going to do it. Like in California, you can't notarize the trust language at all. It has to be just the individual that is appearing before.
Okay.
And Chase is really big on this. Like if you work with Amrock and they're one of Amrock's customers, that'll really condition you for it. Whenever you see that word individually and as trustee, they can only sign as an individual because how can you take the trust part off? So they sign their name and it includes both because it says individually and as trustee under the signature line. When you don't see that individually and as trustee, that's when you have to start asking questions if they should sign with the trust language, if it's allowed in your state. And it's going to be your state laws that you have to go by. Ms. Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you at this point to see if
I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add. If they're signing individually and as trustee, then that's the only thing that can be in that certificate is just their names.
Okay.
Yeah. And you just happen to have a pretty on the ball county recorder who spotted right away. So, and if they probably saw it because you wrote out of the Seattle Notary Trust, blah, 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 dated October 6, 2023, right? You wrote all of that. So
I wrote it all out, Beth.
Yeah,
Sure did.
so.
But I've always done that and nobody's ever questioned it. I've always put, individually and as trustee as, blah, blah, blah. And so, but nobody's ever said anything about it. So, so it was the first time. So I was just kind of wondering about that. And then my second thing, what I learned is, oddly enough, we have remote signings up here. We've been able to get documents downloaded. Like they'll send us the documents, we'll upload them onto the platform, we'll sign the signer remotely. And on proof, weirdly enough, they will not send us a link for the signed documents because they say it's illegal to send the notary the documents. And I'm like, but we already have the documents. So how come we can't get them after they're signed? So we actually now have to get the customer to forward their link over back to us in a standard regular email. So I think it's like some security thing on there or something when they send it back to us. But it was odd that is a new thing up here. But I don't know if it's on all the platforms, but I do know it is on Proof. That doesn't allow the notaries to receive the signed documents back. So I just want to mention that to you.
Might be a Bill question if, because I'm thinking, and Bill, if you're there, let us know what you think, if that's standard protocol on all of the platforms or just some of them.
What, them sending you the link?
No, so like once the documents are all signed, Washington, I don't know when they did it, but they made a rule to where the platform will not automatically send you the link anymore, say your documents are ready to download them. It would only go to the signer and not the notary. So like if we have to scan back the documents to the signing service or wherever, we won't get the link anymore. We used to be able to get the link, but we don't have the link anymore. We don't get the link because Washington said it's illegal to receive the documents because they're private. And don't ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any of my sites that send me one that says my documents are ready. I have to go and get them.
Well, yeah, no, well, no, well, proof, aka used to be notarized. They used to send you a link in your email saying your
Mhm.
documents are ready. But we don't get them anymore just because it's a state thing up here.
Mm.
So I guess it's good information for everybody, just in case.
Oh, good to know.
So yeah, so I learned that. I think I did a thing with Ronnie, and I had to send the documents back, and I'm like, but I don't have the documents, and then I didn't get an email, so I had to call the signer, have the signer send them to me. So it was the book. And Ronnie, I will get on here. I will get on here at another time and stuff like that to kind of go over that and things like that. But yes, the book did save me, and it was something that I put my little heart and soul into, because all the books out there do not conform to what we do as signing agents. They're just like basic notary books. So I kind of had to
Well,
do
you know,
something.
there's kind of that I'm really anxious now to see your version of your book, because we've got the little skinny books that going, dude, that's not enough information, to the other books that have 2 full pages of
Mhm.
checkboxes and stuff, and you're going, I can't even find my way around this one. So I'm
Yeah.
anxious to see where yours kind of landed, if that landed somewhere in the middle. Practicality is what I like.
I think, and just because I created it, I think it's the most amazing book I've ever seen as far as a notary book,
I'm sure.
but yeah. But we'll go over it another time and stuff like that. And then we'll go from there. Because I have the final version, but I sent Ronnie the almost final version.
Okay.
But it's pretty much the same. There's just a couple different little things moved around in those blocks. So yeah.
Beth and I
But that's
know
it.
all about trying to create a notary journal and moving things around and all those things. It's very hard. But
Yeah, it
Miss
took a
Kim,
while.
Miss Kim, thank you so much for being here tonight. Guys, we have reached our time for tonight. I've turned it on gallery view so you can all turn on your cameras. I'm going to ask if you are alive right now. I don't care if you are half naked or stuffing your face with a sandwich or tucking your children in. I want to see your faces so that we can give our signature wave to each other. This is a time for us to come together once a week for just an hour or maybe an hour and 18 minutes. Please turn on your cameras as let's give our signature wave. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you guys didn't know it, we are filming everything in Spanish. Thank you, Manuel Puga, who I think is driving a car right now because he's always working. It's a man in a suit and tie out there making the world happen. But we're going to start putting that out there. So if you haven't noticed, we are refilming everything also in Spanish, and he's also going to become an instructor very soon for you guys. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next week. Every Monday, put it on your calendar. Invite another notary friend. And Miss Beth, how do we say it here at Notary Stars?
Just remember, everybody, we're all in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat. Ronnie's got a yacht. Kirsten's got a canoe. I'm just dog paddling, right? Just remember to reach back and grab the hand of the notary next to you. Take them along your journey with you. Show them the way. Thanks, guys.
Good night, everybody.